Previously, I made a video on how I use the blue tape method when I'm putting in magnets in my cribbage board lids or boxes or anything else. And at that time, I discussed that I would use blue tape and set these up in a way so that when I would put them down, I wouldn't have to worry about them repelling, because as you know, if you've worked with magnets, if you get the like polarities, they shoot away from each other, so then it doesn't do any good to hold. Since then, I've changed over to get rid of the need for the blue tape or anything else, because I just want to be able to put the magnet on anyway and not have a mistake happen and mess with it. So a friend of mine turned me on to these metal plates. These are not magnets, these are just metal plates that attract. So if I put it on there, you can see how it sticks to that magnet right there. And I don't have to worry about the polarity anymore. So that's the technique I use these days. And I make one side so that a metal plate goes in it, and then I make the other side so that the magnet goes in it, and then I don't have to worry about mixing up poles ever. They just stick. So I wanted to let you know about that update, and I'll try to put a link and information in the video description here where I get these magnets, and maybe some sources for those metal plates in case you decide to do that. And then start looking for that for future projects where you can just use a stronger magnet and a metal plate and not have to worry about having two magnets in there. Sometimes with those really small magnets, you'll still need the blue tape method because you have really tiny magnets that you can't get strong enough. But if you can, I find it a lot more convenient to use this method with just a metal plate and a magnet. So that's what we're going to do right now. I'm just putting these in the holes with super glue, CA glue, and we'll be all set. Now, whenever I'm putting these magnets in these plates, I do a couple things up front. One is I have some paper towels set by up close. I also have some acetone so that I can clean up any mess I make with the CA glue, because nothing ever works exactly how you want it. So I'm going to make sure that this is actually working. The CA glue is coming out the way I want it. Okay, so there's a drop right there, so I can get it in a drop. And in the top is where I put the metal plate. And in the bottom is where I put the magnet. You want to make sure you don't put too much in there so that it starts squishing out all over the place. I like to go ahead and put some accelerator on it. And I use a pencil with an eraser to push it down in there for a few seconds. And there's a bit of a drop right here, so I'll use the acetone to wipe that off. That takes care of the lid. Now we're going to go ahead and do the magnet side. So once we have these out of the way, we go to the magnets. And these are really strong, so I have to be careful because they'll flip all over the place if you're not careful. And again, it doesn't matter whether the direction's right or not, because it's attracting to this metal plate here. Okay, those are installed now, and they're very clean, which means that I won't have to do any extra sanding. Let them solidify, and then I'll show you how well they held on. Well, they're all glued up, and as you can see, they're nice and clean. No muss, no fuss. everything is in there, and I don't have to worry about which polarity is which, because if I stick it this way, it stays on, or if I turn it the other way, it stays on, because they're just sticking to a metal plate. Doesn't come off, they're on there nice and solid, and so that's a good deal. One thing I did on my newer cribbage boards that I didn't do when I did this last year is I've actually put finger holes in them now. So now I've got a little finger spot there and there, so that when I put it in, it's easier for me to get them off. In the past, I'd have to turn this and it would be kind of difficult, but now I can pull it off. So there we are. That's my new way of putting on the magnets for my cribbage boards and other boxes, as long as I can use those magnets, which are 0.375 inches round. So as long as I can use those magnets, I'm good. If I need to do smaller magnets, then I will go ahead and test some stronger magnets. I haven't reached out to try to get those yet. I need to do that. If anybody else knows of really strong smaller magnets, like say 2mm magnets or something, let me know in the comments so that I could go check them out, because I love using them with steel plates versus having to worry about the polarity. If not, just go look at that other video that I previously posted that I'll put up in the corner, and by using the blue tape method you can easily put in the magnets, but it's so much easier not even having to worry about the polarity. Have a great day. Till we meet back in this medium again, go out in the shop, make something fun, whether you're printing it with a 3D printer or laser engraving it or using a CNC. And in this case, you can see I did both. I used the CNC to actually make the cribbage board and the lid, and then I used the laser to engrave on them. Take care.